Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Cure Jeff for Charity of the Week, week number 5, and the gameplay in the background is a 40-8 domination gameplay on WMD with the L96. But this week's charity is more or less about something that we've been hearing about for a very long time, unfortunately, and it's about homeless people and poverty and things like that. So the charity that we chose for this week is Habitat for Humanity. Habitat for Humanity is a nonprofit ecumenical Christian housing ministry that has helped build over 500,000 decent, affordable houses and serve 2.5 million people worldwide. And I think what they're doing is a great thing because considering the economy and the recession, these numbers are growing. But according to the Urban Institute in a recent study, about 3.5 million U.S. residents, which is only about 1% of the population, including 1.3 million children, have been homeless for a significant period of time. Over 37,000 homeless individuals, including 16,000 children, stay in shelters in New York alone. And just because it's 1% doesn't mean it's not a significant amount of people. We're talking about millions of people, including children, that don't have a place to stay or food to feed themselves or the people around them. And this is just in the United States alone. Imagine the amount of homeless in the third world countries that only get a small meal a day, maybe even nothing. And this is where we come in. By donating or even volunteering to help build habitat houses for the people, we can reduce these numbers almost significantly. And it's not like you have to donate a lot of money. I'm not asking to donate a lot of money to this. It'd be great if you could, but these habitat houses are simple and affordable, and they're modestly sized. They have, I think, about 3 bedrooms with 1,500 square feet of living space, and that's incredible considering the cost and the amount of labor it requires to create them. It's not that much. And imagine having nothing, and then you get a 3-bedroom house. Like, that's incredible, and we can help make that happen to people that are less fortunate than us. And I've been reading a lot of stories about being homeless and stuff like that, and I came across this one told by a man who remains anonymous, and I would like to share it with you guys. He said that he lived his life pretty comfortably when he was young until his father passed away when he was a young age and his mother remarried. Around the age of 16, he had gone out with a group of his friends and gotten into some trouble involving the cops or something like that. And it wasn't like deep trouble or anything like that, but they had to bring him home. So the cops brought him home to his parents. When the cops left, he and his stepfather got into like a huge fight. It was like really violent and everything. And the mother was equally as angry with him. And eventually, after all the arguing and fighting, they kicked him out of the house for like a little while, they said. So he was taken in by one of his friends at the time that he got in trouble with. And he stayed there for about a month until his friend's parents were kind of sick of taking care of him because he didn't have a job or anything, and they had financial problems of their own. So they had to kick him out and send him back home. When he came back home, it was okay for a little while, for maybe about a couple weeks or so, and the fighting and arguing started happening again, kind of on the same subject of getting in trouble and finding a job and things like that. So the kid decided that he obviously can't stay home at all. So no one could take him in to take care of him or anything like that. So he lived on the streets for a couple days at first until he ran into a couple guys who at the time he regarded as his quote-unquote friends. They were homeless as well, just like him. They had a similar situation with him one way or another. And the longer he hung out with them, the more things he got involved with. He started drinking a lot. He spent like the little amount of money he got from stealing and begging people on the street, and he spent it on street drugs and things like that, and eventually ended up leaving his homeless friends too because for whatever reasons they're all drugged up and everything like that. And he said that he knew exactly what he was doing and he didn't like it, but he couldn't stop. But he felt that like at this point he had hit rock bottom, so he said like he didn't care. He had no family, had no friends, he had no money, no home. He said that, quote, "When you lose everything, you have nothing else to lose but your life," unquote. And he felt at this point like, what was the point of being alive? He said feeling like you don't care if you live or die is a feeling like no other. He attempted to kill himself one night by cutting himself with his needle that he used to inject drugs with and stuff like that. And he said that when I was doing it, I was so frustrated that it was taking so long, but now I'm so thankful that it did. He cut himself until he passed out, but fortunately enough, it took long enough to where an older man found him in the alley that he started cutting himself in and brought him to the hospital where this old man actually stayed with him and talked to him every single day through his recovery, and they became friends. The old man told him that he will help him regain his conscience and composure and stuff like that. The old man eventually encouraged him to go to rehab and stuff like that, and the old man actually got him a job where he worked after rehab and got him back up onto his feet, and he found a house for himself and everything like that after he mustered up enough money. And he said that he feels as that the man that found him was his father looking out for him all along. And he says, quote, "I'm so thankful to be alive," unquote. And that's pretty much the story. And the reason I chose this story is because it kind of shows that anything can happen to anybody. Anybody can end up homeless. You don't have to necessarily do something ridiculously wrong to be homeless. Just freak incidents could happen. Just events in your life can unfold just in the wrong way, and you could end up like that. And thankfully for him that he didn't kill himself. And things like this do cause people to kill themselves. Things like this do cause people to kill each other. Things like this do cause people to commit crimes and everything like that. And I think if we were to actually donate and actually keep these people from being homeless, I think it keeps a lot of people safe. It keeps a lot of people nurtured and comfortable in their own homes. And imagine being one of those people in New Orleans when Katrina hit, or in Japan when the tsunami hit, or Haiti, or anywhere that was hit by a natural disaster. These people are still recovering after all the time that has passed since. Like, freak accidents happen, and it isn't even their fault. Like, if your house was taken away by a hurricane or a tsunami or an earthquake, you would want people to be there out there to help you get through this tough time. And a lot of people, like, a lot of these people are lucky enough to be alive, and after things like that happen, and now they're forced to live without a comfortable home, like, I would want people to help me. And we could be those people that do help those people. We can be those people that will give them hope, that will give them a home and a comfortable place to create a future for themselves and have equal opportunity, just like you and I. And it's only right to give them a fair chance. So if you guys agree with the things that Habitat for Humanity is doing, support them, donate, volunteer, or simply just leave a like on this video to raise awareness about this great charity and help the people in need. And I hope I made this commentary pretty clear to you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed this commentary. And the links to Habitat for Humanity's donation page and homepage will be in the description, so you guys can see and read more information about them and the great things that they've done and will be doing in the future. But anyway, it's been Cure Jeff, guys. Later.